during the 7th day.
We have breaking news into NBC 10 right now. The city is giving a briefing about the strike by 9,000 municipal workers, including sanitation. Let's listen.
And ultimately give you a walkthrough and a tour of one of the sites on basically how we can continue to try to get through this as we negotiate a fair and fiscally responsible contract with our members. And first, I want to say this is not a replacement service. This is a supplemental service. Our ultimate goal is to get our workers back to delivering the outstanding service they provided prior to the work stoppage. In the meantime, we need to provide an update for residents to understand where we are and what they should be doing, because we still need their support, patience, and cooperation. We continue to provide drop-off locations like this across the city of Philadelphia. There are over 60 locations for you to dispose of your waste material. We also provide access to 6 sanitation convenience centers that is open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Throughout the week. We are working to provide additional service at these locations by clearing existing piles and rubbish may have been built up around these sites. We're trying to expand the amount of capacity. We've gotten complaints on some of the challenges at these locations with overflowing dumpsters and people placing trash around the dumpsters, causing a health condition. Under the present circumstances, we need everyone's patience and cooperation. So here's what we're asking the public to do. Please utilize the dumpsters that you see up the street, and we'll be given a brief walkthrough and tour. When they're open, do not place trash outside of these dumpsters. It causes a condition and slows us down in the collection process. Commissioner Shipman and team is working to make sure that these sites may be well maintained with additional staff and additional capacity. However, when bags are placed outside the dumpsters, they cause major delays and additional complications. So we're asking the public to make sure that they utilize the dumpster. And we're working to provide additional staff at these locations for those who may have challenges lifting either over the top or have bags that are heavy. Our staff is there to help you to make sure that they get them inside these locations. The second thing that I want to emphasize, this is not a free pass for illegal dumping around the city of Philadelphia. This is for residential trash only. It's not for private businesses. It's not for contractors. It's not for you to place your DUI projects out here at these locations, filling up the capacity, and then we don't have the space to remove it. This is a temporary solution to provide our residents with access to dispose of their trash safely. Now, I say that, and I want to emphasize that because we've had numerous reports of people taking advantage of these dump sites by placing their material items at these locations. For example, up in Logan this weekend, we've had a business take rotten chicken and unused oil and place it at our location, in which we had to collect. Needless to say, this person will be held accountable. They were arrested, and they will be held to the fullest extent of our new process with our law department, $5,000 per fine, per item, per incident. And we're also working with the parking authority that if you use a vehicle in the act of dumping and we get your information, we can also refer them to the parking authority to put on their boot and tow list and confiscate your vehicle per the new legislation that was recently passed. This is extremely serious. We are here to provide a service to try to get through a very challenging time, and we don't need the additional garbage and trash from contractors who's supposed to be legally disposing of their trash right now to dispose of it properly and not take advantage of these sites while we're trying to provide a service to the citizens of Philadelphia. In addition, we also want to encourage residents not to bring their trash out if it's not your designated trash day. This overwhelms the system, it takes up capacity, and it makes it difficult for us to keep up with the amount of rubbish that are being placed at these locations. And finally, please do not place your trash out for curbside rubbish collection. Currently, that program is temporarily suspended as we work through this work stoppage. If you have problems or complaints about additional locations or dumping or excessive trash at one of these locations, please continue to call 311. Commissioner Shipman and her team stands at the ready to try to service these areas as quickly as possible. After Commissioner Bethel and Public Safety Director Gear give their brief updates, we are going to do a walkthrough, and I invite you to walk with me to tour the location and highlight some of the things that we just discussed. Commissioner Bethel?
So thank you, Carl. Now, I'll be very brief. We continue to support the operations of our team, the director and the commissioner. As indicated last week, we do continue to investigate the acts of vandalism that occurred last week. We also continue to investigate those arsons of the containers that we've seen. I just want to remind the public, when we engage in arson, we have a task force that consists of our federal partners, our marshals, our detectives, and others. And so we will continue to investigate those with our fire marshals and the like. But our posture remains the same as it was last week. We're here to support. As I shared with you last week, the Sheriff's Department has the primary responsibility for enforcing all of the injunctions. We continue to support the Sheriff's Department, and we're working collaboratively. Commissioner Stanford has been leading that effort on the ground with his team, and that's going effectively well. We continue that to the second week. I know there's going to be a lot of questions potentially about the weekend of violence, so we're going to hold on that. After you do it, I'll come back and we'll do a second round and be able to answer any specific questions and talk through what happened over the weekend. Thank you, everyone.
All right, Joe, you want to? Oh.
We'll wait until after.
All right. So what we're going to do now is take a walk up the street. Sure.
You've been listening to an update from the city. Last week they gave daily briefings, but last week Mayor Parker was giving the briefings. You've just been listening to Carlton Williams, director of the Clean and Green Initiative, saying 3 points to the public. Please utilize the dumpsters. Don't leave your garbage outside the dumpsters. This is not a free pass for illegal dumping around the city. And do not bring your trash out if it's not your designated trash day. That is the city's update. Now let's get the union's update. NBC 10's Lauren Mayk just spoke with DC 33 President Greg Boulware about the latest on the strike and negotiations. He was at a rally today along with AFSCME President Lee Saunders. Here's her interview in its entirety.
First of all, what did it mean to you to have Mr. Saunders here?
Oh, it's tremendous to have an outpouring of support from our international union here, and understands what this entire, this battle is about. It's about trying to get these working people here who service the city every day an adequate raise that actually meets the demands that it requires to live inside of the city. That's all this is about. It's not about personal things. It's not about any of the other things. It's about these members. These members are citizens, first and foremost, of Philadelphia, and they service every aspect across the city and can't afford themselves to have any decent quality of life inside the city. There's something wrong with that, and that's why we're here, to try to make that change.
You said the city has to do better. Are you any closer to an agreement?
Not on the city's end. The city's end is exactly where they were the previous time we met, where our changes were significant. So we've come down to some degree, and the city.
Did you end up coming down over the weekend too? I know you were working on some stuff. Where are you now?
Right now, we're about to submit another proposal again today. And then, God willing, we're meeting down tomorrow, and we can try to get something hammered home that works for our members so we can get back to work and service the city the way we love doing.
Can you tell us what it is, where you landed this time?
The city hasn't received it yet, so I'd like to not put that out there.
I understand. Are you talking today? Are you negotiating today?
We've had conversation through our attorneys and working out a date for tomorrow.
For tomorrow. For folks watching all of this play out, why isn't it a go to the table every day? Why aren't you talking every single day?
That's a fantastic question. I mean, we've been there to be able to sit and meet and negotiate. We stay there all night if we have to. Unfortunately, what's been happening is you swap agreements and then caucus for hours and hours and hours. And then, it doesn't seem like the city, quite honestly, wants to entertain any of the questions that we have about things and actually have a true dialogue back and forth about each of the subject matters. And that's how you negotiate, and that's not truly what's been going on. So that's what's hindered a lot of this process, on top of the fact that we honestly shouldn't have been this far along to have gotten this far. But again, it took the city of Philadelphia 5.5 months to give us a financial offer. And so that slows the road for everything else. And so it's just been really at a snail's pace, unfortunately. But we're here. We're ready to negotiate, we're ready to sit down, and we'll stay around the clock if we need to, particularly if we know it's going in the progressive way.
Did you make it clear to the city that you were willing to sit around the clock?
We made that clear from the
It's
beginning.
not the way the mayor has described it, as I'm sure you know.
Clearly. Well, the mayor has an entire different ideology about a lot of different things. But we're here to negotiate. We're here to sit down. But we need progressive changes for our members to be able to live inside of the city that they serve every day.
Your members could soon be missing a paycheck. What are you preparing to help support them with that?
Well, we have a strike fund for our members to be able to support them. We've been out providing lunches for our members and providing support in any way we can. We know this is a hardship. Anytime you go out on a strike, it's a sacrifice. You are sacrificing yourself for hopefully what you feel like is a better day tomorrow. And so that's what we're out here doing. And we're all standing together in solidarity. You see a bunch of motivated members out here standing here. And so they motivate me to continue to keep going with this. And so we're going to do that together. And, hopefully the city, comes to the table and understands that they have to make progressive changes for our members.
I'm going to let you go. I know you got a lot to do today, but you said you're going to be submitting a new proposal to the city. Is it on salary, those salary annual raise numbers that you're changing?
Salary is involved in that, and there's a bunch of other subject matters as far as language, as far as work rules and different things like that that are impacted as far as in that proposal as well. So it's a comprehensive proposal.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
NBC 10's Lauren Mayk interviewing the head of DC 33, who told her they are about to submit another proposal to the city, hoping to meet with the city tomorrow. They've had conversations today, working on the details for tomorrow. We'll continue to monitor this situation. Also on our website, we have a live blog. As new information comes in, we post it there. We also have a location for those 60 or so sites where you can drop off your trash, which we just heard from city officials. They're asking you to please only drop off on the specific collection day, which will be your pickup day. We'll have a number of reports coming up this afternoon on NBC 10 News at 4, and we'll see you then.